last semester, okay? So how do you say 4 again? That's good. Once again, 4. How do you say 5? That's good. Once again, 5. Okay, are you ready? You're going to record from 1 to 5 in a second. We will practice again, okay? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Can you do it? Please record. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and let's do the other 6 to 10. It's going to be sheast. And then sim. Good job. Once again, visim. 9 is going to be deviate. And 10 is going to be good job. Once again, deset. One more time. Ready? Let's say 6. Sheast. Sim. Visim. Deviate. Deset. Can you try to record, please? So, sheast, sim, visim, deviate, deset. Alright, and now to make it a bit more exciting for you, I'm gonna give you your row in number in Ukrainian, and you will need to try to understand. That's the challenge of today. We will go through numbers again, and then I will say the numbers slowly. Please try to find the number, okay? So let's go. First we do the numbers again, and then I tell you the roll call number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so not easy. We'll wait for everyone, but I want to see how many people can do it. So you're gonna do the roll call now in Ukrainian. Okay, let's go. The first number is 5. Again, the first number in your roll call in I class is 5. Oh, sorry, I just showed the fingers. 5. 5. The second number is sheast. One more time, sheast. Then this number is Вісім. 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 And the last one is два. Oh, guys, you're good. 26 people in now, 27. Okay, I feel like almost everyone. 29. Oh, be sure. Okay, I will just say one more time. 5. 6. 8. 2. Okay, 31. I feel like almost everyone. Could you translate for me? What's 5? That's good. Then we have 6. 8. 2. Yeah, that's the number. So it goes within section. 5, 6, 8, 2. Okay, and now let's see your age number. Right? I feel like everyone is above 18, right? So that's what we'll look at, right? So in Ukrainian, it's just like in English. You would say 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. In English, it ends with teen. For us in Ukrainian, it's going to be not set, which means teen, pretty much. Could you try to say this part, please? Not set. So all of them start with the same letters, like 14. So like 4 and teen. Chotar, not set. But we look just at these numbers here. As you remember, 8 is visim, right? How do you say 18? Visim, not set. So if someone is 18, that's going to be your number to write down later. Please remember. Then we have 19. Let's say 9, right? 19. Okay, and we only look at 20 because I believe some of you are 20 something, right? So in Ukrainian, 20 is going to be 20. And then you get to choose the numbers. So for example, if you're 21, you just go like 21, right? Let's try it. It's going to be 21. If someone is 22, it's going to be 20. That's right. Let's say 22. If someone is 23, it's going to be 3. Right, let's say 23. 24 is going to be 20. Yeah, good. Once again, 24. And then we have 25. 25. Okay, once again, 25. And I'm not sure if we need these numbers. Maybe some of you are a bit older. Let's say 26. 27. 28. 29. Alright, so you know what you're gonna do now. You have a little dialogue with your partner now. You get to ask each other, how old are you? And then your partner is gonna tell you the age in Ukrainian. Okay, I will help you a bit. Maybe we can start with the question. How do you say, how old are you in Ukrainian? That's good. Okay. So that's the question. Once again, скільки тобі років? And if you want to say I am, we need to change you, right? So we change it. And in Ukrainian, I am something something. About the age is going to be many. So that's what you need. You need to say many, and then you give your number, and the numbers you've got here. Let's just practice again. We've got to say скільки тобі років. And you get to answer I am many, and then you say the number. So now you do that with your partner. First, your partner says скільки тобі років. You reply, and then you switch the roles, okay? So then you ask the question and your partner replies. If you don't have a partner, please do it once by yourself. Okay? Okay, let's do it one more time. Скільки тобі років? And then you say one of these numbers. Do you want me to say them again for you? Yeah, let's do it. So let's do big numbers. If you're 18, you're supposed to say 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I hope you got the number, your number, and you can do it. If you cannot, please raise your hands. I will help. Guys, we're recording now. Can you record the question and the answer about yourself, about your age? Which number did you? Yeah, that's perfect. All right, and the final boss of today. You've got to write the whole story about yourself. So once again, if it's your first semester, you can write in Latin. So you don't need to do the letters. If you like the challenge, you can try, but please do Latin. If it's your second semester, please write it properly. And after you finish writing, you need to record the whole sentence about yourself, okay? So that's the final thing for today. So I will write down the sentence again, so we can do it together. Ready? If you can do it faster, please do. But we start with hi, and it's up to you. You can say hi or good afternoon. Let's do the longer one. How do you say good afternoon again? Yeah, that's good. So if you can write in Ukrainian, please do. If you want to try to write in Ukrainian, please do. If it's too hard for you now, you can do Latin. So you choose, okay? So now we all write. Could you please write, because you will take a picture and send it to me? Once again, if it's your second class, you can do Latin. You don't need Ukrainian, only if you want to try. So we can take pens and write, or we can write on your iPads, but we write, okay? All of us. And maybe let's say it one more time. Доброго дня. Okay, which is good afternoon. All right, we move to the second one, which is I am. To make it a bit easier for those who just joined, you can just write down the number like this. And when you say it, you say in Ukrainian the full version, but you don't need to write, it's pretty long. So it's going to be I am 22, right? And please write your own number. I guess I would change the slides so you can see. If you're able to write by now. And let's say one more time. Мені 22. It's going to be about your age in a second. So it should be about your age. I will just move. I hope you have it in front of you on your phones. But we say, I am from Taiwan. So it's going to be Я з Taiwan. And you will have time to finish, by the way. So we're doing now, but you will have some extra time. So я з Taiwan, which is I'm from Taiwan. just look here. It's a bit more clear than what I read. Once again, I'm from Taiwan. It's going to be Я з Тайваню. Okay. The next is going to be I'm a student, which is yeah, good. Once again, Я студент. That's right. Please try to write it down too. And I just want to say again that everyone is on a different level here. That's why it's a bit hard to accommodate everyone, but we just try. So please do as much as you can. If you feel like you can only do Latin, please do Latin. If you feel like you can write, please write. Just do as much as you can, okay? Please. And just one more. I will write it down here, but we can finish next class, okay? It's going to be my name is. How do you say that? Yeah, and then you just say your name. So, one more time, let's say, Мене звати. Okay, and that's what you will write during the break time. So we'll come back and you can finish that and also record. If you want to spend some extra time during the break time, sure, please. That's it. See you in 10 minutes.
然后那个可以给。
有作业，有作业，这个是它上一段是那个医师证书。
那你上一班还在上吗？你今天上班不是要有9小时啊，我就如果不老师，我是申请我打问题，我就是打题，对，就是等问题就问题了。10小时
5点，
1点，比他1点，那就是10小时。好。这样就是一个。
肯定是不睡觉吧？我想的是不睡觉。
你下午就睡觉，睡到半夜1点钟。
我礼拜六就睡觉。
你要直接把时间再洗。
打一点，我不行。
上礼拜五在那个体育课的时候，旁边2个人举哑铃，一直在讲那个内容。你下次可以跟他们讲。
我去讲。
艺人交流。
为什么这么多人？因为去上都
确定人家是好苦，那你要这样去。
我买完看在我觉得我去买烤肉吃。
来一下。
这两天买一个菜，然后我买完男生菜，我把那个烤肉吃。
你那边的？
我的菜，不然你吃好多，吃有点
这物料烤肉店吗？
串烤出来的。
那我去买都可以。
我可以真的是有这个，更贵。
我可能不是他去。
我你点个烤肉。对。
那就是填把一道名字标上去，然后看这个文章，应该看得懂吧？那么不来上来，更好，继续来上。
可是我已经4年没学了。
一下下就天天练习而已。 现在这样停止传播的是吧？那你读这学期在上面跟这学期在上面
必修那个没有，我就没有。
是觉得是管理学院的课程哦，好，这样子哦。应该会把这个学期的资料对吧？会吧？有。
Okay, so for now you have 4 minutes to finish recording and hopefully writing too. Before you submit that, can we just do one more role play again? I will divide the class into 2 groups, so it's going to be you guys and it's over here. So we start with you. You've got to greet each other. So pretty much you start, they answer, and then they start, you guys answer. Okay? So we can start with hello, or like good afternoon. How would you say that? Okay, that's good. Once again, доброго дня. What do you guys answer? They said good afternoon, you just have to say the same. That's how it works. Yeah, that's good. So you say good afternoon too. Let's say доброго дня. Alright, now this one is going to be your question, and you guys need to answer. So these 2 questions are for you. What's the first question? Good, once again, звідки ти? And you guys, you have to find the answer from this text.
Yeah.
That's good. So it's going to be, where are you from, right? And you should say, I'm from Taiwan. So let's again, я з Тайваню. Okay, so you guys, this question is for you. Yeah, that's good. Once again, як тебе звати? And you've got to answer it. That's good. One more time. That's going to be the last question, the last sentence here. Let's go. It's going to be мене звати Наталі. Okay, you've got the second question. Sorry, don't wait. It's going to be, how old are you? Good. Let's say one more time. Скільки тобі років? And you guys, you get to answer. That's good. Let's again. Мені 22. And you guys, you get to say, what do you do? What's your job? Good. One more time. Хто ти за фахом? And you get to say, I'm a student.
Student.
Good. One more time. Я студент. Okay, so hopefully now, I hope everyone can record a little story about yourself. So we'll do it one more time, but that's what you need to do. After you finish writing, either in Ukrainian or in English, Latin, could you please take a picture of what you wrote and send it to my teams? So I will check for you, okay? So you just take a picture with your phone and please send it to my teams. I will check later for you. And after you do that, you also need to record your story. You have to say what you wrote. Let's read one more time and then you do that, okay? I will skip the parts that you have to write. So you have to write your age and your name by yourself. The rest is the same for everyone. So let's say it. You start with good afternoon. Доброго дня. Then you say I am and your age. So I am is going to be many. Yeah, and then you say your age. Then you have to say I'm from Taiwan. If you're not from Taiwan, could you raise your hands? I will help you with your country. Okay, it seems like everyone's from Taiwan. Then let's say Я з Тайваню. Then you get to say I'm a student. So Я студент. And then you say your age. So it's going to be мене звати. And then your name, right? So please try to record this story about yourself. I will check later for you.
如果是从听词上，应该是传文字的给他就好了的。
If it's too hard for you to do now, you can finish at home and send to me before the next class, okay? So I will upload the recording of everything we studied today to your iClass. So today I will upload the audio so you can listen at home. If it's too hard for you to do it now, you can practice at home and send before Thursday, okay? So it's up to you. You can send it before Thursday. Today is better, so you get the feedback faster. Alright, so I guess it's over today. I hope you learned something and you can introduce yourself to some Ukrainian friends you meet later. Now we do some history, and it's everything we learned, kind of, so I hope to hear something from you more very fast. And also, I uploaded the document history, which is on your iClass again. And that's for everyone to see what we've learned. So when you open the document, it's 11 pages. I tried to write in an easy language. And the first 6 pages is what we learned during the last semester. You can read about Ukrainian princes and princesses. And then from page 6 is our new material. So pages 1-5 is old, pages 6-11 is new. Actually, it's less than 11 pages because pictures are quite big. So it's not too much of reading. But let's see what we learned. We started with old times. Does anyone remember what people lived on the territory of Ukraine in old times? What's the name of these people? This tribal group. I think it's the name of the department, so it should be that word. It starts with S. Yeah, that's the one. So we talk about Slavic people, or Slavs. And many years ago, they looked like that. So they were good at agriculture, hunting, also raising animals, and they moved to the territory of Ukraine quite a long time ago. Who remembers when did they move to the territory of Ukraine? Which century? So the number is Piet. Who remembers what is Piet? Yeah, that's fine. So they moved to Ukraine, the territory of now Ukraine, around the 5th century. So super old times, very long time ago. And they had quite a special religion at that time. Anyone who remembers what the name of religion is? Yeah, that's the one, thank you. So, paganism is their religion. They believed in gods of nature, and they believed in different spirits. So they were very close to the nature, and they would pray to the god of sun, to the god of thunder, and so on in old times. So we talk about 5th to, let's say, 9th century, old times. And they also built a city at that time. Maybe someone can try to read. What's the name of the city? By the way, everyone can read it now, right now.
Kiev.
Yeah, that's good. Can you say it? So let's go. Kyiv.
Kiev.
Yeah, that's the name of the capital now. And that's the city they built around 6th century. So Kiev was like that in the 6th century already, built by Slavic people. And they ruled that city quite well. It became a state, it became a bigger state, and it was quite powerful. So it was fighting other states around, and people wanted to trade with the Kievan Rus. So Kiev grew into Kievan Rus, which is a state or a kingdom. And as I said last time, lots of wars happened on our territory, right? So Slavic people ruled for quite a bit, and then people from the north came. Do you remember who came? Matrix? Someone else? Maybe I will bring it so you have a translation. So first there were just Slavic people living there with some other tribes, and then we have Vikings. Vikings came to Kiev and they killed the Slavic rulers. So it's one of the first dramatic wars we had at that time. And let's see, so over here we have Vikings, the North Germanic ethnic group. So let's say Swedish people, Danish people are all Vikings. And at that time, this group of people came from the north and they killed our rulers, not our rulers at that time. And they claimed that they will rule Kiev from now on. And they came around the 9th century. They reached Kiev and they started to rule from Kiev. So everyone knows what Kiev is, right? It's still the capital of Ukraine. So we are really proud of that time because we think at that time Kiev and Kievan Rus was very powerful as it was. So it's kind of a time to be proud of for Ukrainians. And these Vikings started to rule, and they ruled almost for 7 centuries, which is quite a lot. Last semester we talked about all these princes, just some fun facts about each of them. This year, just know, we had lots of princes and princesses. They brought lots of good things to Kievan Rus. They made it richer and more powerful. It was a good stage. So in English, we call this family Rurikids. What about Ukrainian? Can we try to read what their surname is? Their last name in Ukrainian. Okay, lots of new letters for those who just came. Sorry, I actually didn't write it. Sorry. It's going to be Rurikovich. So that's how we named them in Ukrainian. It's a generation of Rurikovich who were the Vikings who came to Kiev and they ruled Kiev for 7 centuries, and they did lots of good things. Over here, I actually wrote down their names So we start with those who started going up to the last one. Maybe we can try to read. What's the first man's name?
Igor.
Ihor.
Igor.
Yeah, so Ihor of Kiev in English. He was married to this lady. Her name is
Olga. Olga.
Okay, maybe I'll say again Olha.
Olga.
What about this guy?
Sviatoslav. Sviatoslav.
Only those who know letters can read now. Some are not studied by us.
Sviatoslav.
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 Yeah, so they had a son, Sviatoslav, who was also one of the kings, princes. And then this guy.
Volodymyr. Volodymyr.
Volodymyr. Let's say Volodymyr.
Volodymyr.
And that's the name of our president today. In Russian, sorry, here you have the Russian translation of the name.
Zelensky.
Maybe it's worth mentioning, especially for those who just joined. It's the same name. In Ukrainian, we have our president Volodymyr Zelensky, and in Russia, they have Vladimir Putin. So it's the same name for us, just different languages. So both Putin and Zelensky share the same name. It's just translated in different languages. So for us, he's gonna be Volodymyr.
Volodymyr.
All right, and let's see, one of the most famous princes too. His name is.
Yaroslav. Yaroslav.
That's good. Once again, Yaroslav.
Yaroslav.
So in that document, the history documents, you can read about them. So something about each of them, what they've done to give us. All right, but then, as we talked during the last class, it wasn't that bright for too long since this Mongol army came, and they ruined Kiev. So they came around 13th century, and they killed everyone in Kiev. Not everyone, but more than 50,000, and Kiev became very weak, and it wasn't a strong state in the political arena anymore. So Mongols came and they ruined Kiev. After that, so Kiev is over here. Mongols came, they ruined Kiev. They kept going to this region because they wanted to conquer Europe too. But as you remember, here we had a prince who stopped the invasion of Mongols. Let's see, that's him. So he's kind of famous in the region, in Europe too. So the question here is, who is he? In Ukrainian, what's that? And his name is
Danilo.
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 His surname is Halitsky.
Halitsky.
So he was one of the princes during Kievan Rus, and then he became a king. And do you remember how he stopped the invasion? I mentioned that last time. Yeah, so he was so good at knowing the rivers that he was fast enough to send his soldiers in the place where Mongols came. That's how he stopped the invasion. And the European kings at that time realized that he'd saved them. So the Pope of Rome at that time gave him the status of the king. And in that time it was a big deal. Not everyone was a king, but since he protected Europe, he became the king at that time, which is a big deal. Alright, and after that we moved to Ukrainian Cossacks. So Cossacks are people who we talked about last time. Remember, they are our free-spirited warriors that Ukrainians are proud about. We talked about that, so we just do a little super tiny review and just see what's happening. So we had Mongols, we had the king, the Lysisky, who ruled the area. He was doing pretty well, but not too well. So at some point, these countries, the neighboring countries, decided to divide his territory. One of the biggest collapses of Kievan Rus at that time. So we have the Polish and the Lithuanian state, which later united to the Commonwealth, and the Ukrainian lands went to their territory. So the Ukrainians talk about this period as one of the saddest because we were a very powerful human race. We were super proud of that period. And at this time, around 16th century, the Ukrainian state became weak and it became under the rule of Polish and Lithuanians. At that time, Polish state and Lithuanian state. But there was a difference. So we always say that Lithuanian state was good to Ukrainians because they adopted Ukrainian culture and they kind of listened to us, while Polish people would tell us what to do. So the rule was very different. Lithuanians were more adaptive and willing to Ukrainians be Ukrainians, while Polish people would kind of tell us what to do. That's the biggest difference in two countries. And as you can see over here, we've got the whole place which didn't have anyone living here. So it was completely empty. The name of it is the wild field. How do you say the wild field in Ukrainian? Everyone can read that by now, by the way.
Dzikie pole. Pole.
Yeah, that's good. So Dyka means wild and Pola means field. Once again, Dyka Pola.
Dzikie pole.
So we call it Dyka Pola. It's the place where no one lived. So here Polish ruled, Lithuanians ruled, and here it was just an empty land with no one. So what happens is the empty land, some people come, and there were different people who looked for a better future. So there were like peasants who wanted to escape from the forced labor. There were also landowners who wanted to build bigger settlements for them. Also, some of like adventurers, people without the family, and some skilled warriors. So all different people came to that empty land, and they formed a land, a state, which we call the Cossack Dom. So it's a phenomenon of free knights. So all these people mostly have some unfortune before they decided to build a new state where they would rule and where they would fight for something better. And they created the state, the Cossack Dom, with lots of rules that have the signs of democracy, modern democracy, which wasn't the case in other countries around. At that time, Europe, for example, still had kingdoms and all that. So the free election system was very special at that time, and that's what Cossacks did. You could choose your own ruler at that time, which was very special in that century. And where does the word Cossack come from? So I will just write it down in Ukrainian too. Let's read syllables, can we? What do you see? Let's keep going. Za. And the last name?
Kozaki.
Yeah, and everyone can read it by now. So let's say it. Kozaki.
Kozaki.
Yeah, that's Ukrainian for Cossacks. And actually it comes from Turkish word, which means the free man. And that's what Cossacks were fighting for mostly, for the better future and for the freedom. And yeah, as I said, there are all different people who just hoped for a better future. And then we did mention last time that that's a special look of Cossacks. They have some long mustache, and then they have a shaved head with one single lock of hair, and usually an earring. So it's very typical Ukrainian Cossack look. And they were famous for their bravery, their good skills as warriors, and also their humor. And they were also very good alcoholics. So we talk about that a lot too. That, for example, we have the Ukrainian Minister of Defense who wanted to use Cossacks as an image of our state being impossible to defeat. And then he said, I don't like their look and I don't like their drinking habits, so they're bad heroes for our state. But deep inside, we do think that Cossacks are kind of our heroes for every Ukrainian. We will talk about Cossacks a bit more next time. More historical facts is one little cartoon about them because we like to make fun of them too. So they're just a symbol of Ukraine. If you had to remember one thing about Ukrainian, please do remember about Cossacks. It's something we're very, very proud of, each Ukrainian. All right, and maybe a bit more of the culture time. So very short Ukrainian review. So maybe let's do some. Oh, let's do this in because it's kind of brings us back to the pronouns. It's kind of important to know that in Ukrainian we have you, which can be polite and respectful, and which can be just singular. So maybe let's start with the review of all the pronouns. How do you say I in Ukrainian?
Yeah.
What about you, which is singular? Something you would call your friends, not a teacher or not someone to be respectful. Yeah, okay, once again, ты. Then how do you say he? You don't need to write that, but let's say he. Then you have she.
Вона,
Nice, once again, вона.
вона,
What about we?
ми,
Мы, that's good. What about you?
ви,
Вы. Could you say that? Вы.
ви.
So it's a polite you. Either polite or it can be plural, which means if you talk to the teacher, you would say вы, because you want to show some respect. But when I talk to you, I will also use вы because I'm showing respect to you. If I talk about you as many people, you guys, I will also use вы. The only difference, if I want to show respect, вы is going to be capital. If it's just a bunch of you, it's going to be small вы. And then we got they. They is going to be yeah, once again, volny. So over here we have a little interesting cultural fact about вы and ты. So ты is just how you guys would talk to each other. So you wouldn't use вы, you would say ты. And in Ukraine and Russia, the Slavic world, we get this one rule when we kind of shift from you, polite, and you, just someone you're familiar with. So first of all, when you meet a person, it's really rude to talk to someone using ты. You would only use вы to show respect. So usually, even if you're the same age, but you're strangers, at first you would say вы. And then naturally, you know when to move to the easier form. But there is one rule that's kind of fun, and it goes like, we haven't yet drank, and in Ukrainian we say na буде shot. So what does that mean? That's the one. When you drink na bude shot, it means you kind of cross your arms like this, and that's the moment when you can move from formal you to just normal you, just like non-official you. So once again, let's say you've been strangers with someone. What do you use? Do you use вы or ты? Вы. It's a polite one. So вы is a polite you. And then you either move naturally to the normal informal you, which is ты. Or there is this tradition we have in Ukraine when you drink, and we call it now bruder shot. I think it's actually taken from German. And to drink the bruder shot is when you cross your arms and you just drink kind of like from your glass. And that's the moment when you move from formal you to just like informal you. And so sometimes when we use it these days, it could be, for example, oh, hi, why do we keep using polite you? We should move to just informal you. And if it's at the party, people would just do that, they would drink, and they would just move to informal you from now on. And the grammar is different from formal you and informal you, so the grammar would be different too. Or, for example, especially if you're a girl, and there is a man who comes to you, and he's like, he's just saying informal you to you all the time, and you don't want it because you feel like it's not nice that he uses informal you. You could be like, oh, but we didn't drink number the shot. Why do you act like that? So meaning like, please use the formal language to me. Don't do like this informal thing with me. Alright, so this is a small cultural effect. We drink number the shot to move the grammar from polite to informal. Alright, that's it. So it's gonna be all for today for those who know the letters. So please feel free to leave. For those who want to review the letters or who didn't learn yet, please stay. We still have 20 minutes to go. And also, so last class I did provide these little worksheets for everyone who stayed. Oh yeah, so sure, if you learn the lessons and you don't want to stay, please don't stay and feel free to go. If you didn't learn the lessons yet, you still have something to do. You will finish all the letters. So could you raise your hand if you need this paper I gave it last time? Maybe you forgot it or you were not here. Could you raise your hand if you need it?
你说这两个字没有，你说这两个字没有，其他都一样画。就是轮流报告，但是按报告你随便找一个花去求，然后变成一种一个很有意一般是好的，一般是这个什么？好像是一个下午的口语，你还记得多少回合来？你看这个什么？可能那个其他的回来，你一直会可以。我记得我今天还会这个特别有动力，不知道，我今天特别有动力，以后可能是有更好的这个。应不应该因为在他说这个不知道，谢谢第一课牙当是我必修，那个我是书记。
Alright, so last class we did these letters in the front. So maybe now we can just do a short little review. I'm going to show you the letter. Could you please name it for me, okay? That's how we do it now. So we start with the first letter. What is it? Oh, sorry, I cannot stop. Okay, once again, Could you raise your hand if you didn't come here last time? Okay, so I will write it down for you once again, okay? Okay, so you got this letter over here. Please try to copy the letter as good as you can. And you have it 1 in printed, 2 in cursive. So number 1 is what you see in textbooks. Number 2 is what you write. That's why we have 2 letters. Sometimes they don't look similar, so that's why you have 2 of them here. And please, next to this line, so you have indifference, printed, cursive. Cursive is how people write it. Over here, please write it down for yourself. And here you can write down, it sounds like in part, so you know how to pronounce it. Okay, we use English words as equivalents. Once again, Okay, what about this letter? That's good. So if you just joined, please try to write it down fast or do it at home, okay? I don't want to do it twice. for those who joined last time. And it sounds like b in bad. Let's say b. Okay, let's see the next letter. What do you have? Yeah, that's good. So it's going to be v in bad, for example. Let's again, v. Okay, what about this letter? Yeah, it's kind of special. It's something in between of g and h, right? It's closer to h though. Let's say a h. But please remember it's something in between a h. Okay, what about this letter? Yep, let's say good. It's like good in good, for example, good. What about this letter? Yeah, that's the one. So, for example, the in drink. And let's again, the. Hard to control. Okay, let's start with this letter here. What's that? Yeah, good. Once again, A. So it's something like A in bad, for example. So let's again A. What about this letter here? Yeah, that's good. Once again, yeah. So it's like yeah in yes. And this one is, yeah, let's again, Z. So just the sound combination, Z. And this one is, yeah, that's good. Once again, Z. Like Z in Z, maybe. And this one, good. Once again, like in it. And the one here is E. That's nice. Once again, E. Like E in feet, maybe E. And the next is very similar. This one is E. Yeah, good job. So once again, Yi. Like Yi in yeast. This one is, maybe I will just show them once. Where is it? Oh, here. This letter is Y. So it's way shorter. So it's like Y in yolk. What's the yolk? And then we get this letter similar to English, which is K. Thank you. So it could be K in key. The one here. Alright, so this letter here, one more time, is L, like L in letter B, L. And the next one is going to be N in nose, maybe. Let's again, N. And the next thing, Or maybe like O in pot, British one, or orange. Which one? No? What's here? Oh, no, sorry. Okay, we got M, like in mouse, maybe. N, in nose. And then O in orange. And the last one we learned was P. Could you say that? P. So it's like P in part. Alright, and today we're going to finish the second part of the lesson. But first I wanted you to read these words because it's something you can read by now. What do you see here? What's number one? Oh, this is good. That's good. So we start with the. And this one is vo. And together it's the vo. Can you see it? So we have the v, o. So it's the vo. Let's try the second one. That's good. I think I'll write here. So what's the first letter that you see? What's the second one? N. And then and then H. It's the one which is in between, remember. And the last one is Yeah, that's good. Let's try. Neha. Okay, let's move to the third one. And can we spell it out? So what's the first letter that you see? M. And then E. And then S. And then T. O. So it's M. E. S. T. O. Good. And this person is stressed, so let's say misto. Okay, the next one is nice. Can we spell it out? So what do you see? L. Yeah, good. So let's go. Holos. Oh, and by the way, I put these little, forget their names, but they're here to show 2 syllables. So actually it's one word, but that's how kids learn to read, dividing into syllables. So that's why you have them. Actually, this word is just written like that, but I divided them so it's easier to read 2 parts. That's why, just one word. Maybe once again, holos. And then we have the branch. How do you say the branch? That's good. Let's spell them. So we have Good. Once again, Yilka. And then the next one is Yeah, it's good. So let's spell them. You have Z, Good. Once again, Zalizo. Alright, so you can read. That's good. And let's move to the following letters, starting from the roaring sound. So could you please flip the page over? No, we only have 8 minutes. Let's see. So maybe we'll need the next class to finish. But we start with this letter on the top. And let's see how to write it down. It's gonna be like this. So that's the one. And that's one of the hardest letters for foreigners to learn if they don't have the roaring sound. That's our R. So it's gonna be R, like in through. So they always say if you pronounce the word through, that's the right location to say r sound. So if you try to move your tongue from teeth to up there to say the word through, that's the right location of your r sound. And usually it doesn't come immediately, even for us native speakers. When we're little kids, our tongue needs to become strong to be able to say this sound. So kids up to 4 years cannot say that, only after their tongues become stronger. So it's a hard sound even for us. We go to language doctors, like the sound doctors, to practice it. So once you find the right location of your tongue, it should be here. So if this is your, I cannot do that, sorry. So this is your teeth, and then behind the teeth you have like a little heel. You can feel it with your tongue. So that's where your tongue should be. So this is the tongue. I cannot draw better, sorry. But over there you have the heel, and that's where you need to put your tongue. And then just keep practicing. You can go with like and it's one of the easiest to say too. So if you have a combination, you just go like and over time it becomes better. So you can remove t and you just go Right, so it's all about the right location. But if it doesn't happen immediately, even I have to spend quite a lot of years to practice this sound when I was a kid. It doesn't come fast. So if you use English or I don't know if you have it in Chinese honestly, but if you use like roof, it works perfectly fine too. Many people in our region cannot say that, and we are fine with it. So just practice. If it doesn't happen, don't worry too much about the sounds. And maybe one more time, let's say it's gonna be r, it's r. So let's say r. So just try, okay? And then we move to the next letter. It's very easy to write, and it sounds. Oh, again, sorry. And it sounds almost like English. So this is going to be your s, like I said. So please write it down, and let's say s. So the next thing, the one which is printed looks super easy and similar. The one which is in cursive looks super different. So let's see how to write it. It goes like first line, second line, third line, and the roof. And the small one looks like English and, but for us it's the. Yeah, it's our the letter, like in tell, for example. And we pronounce it a bit more voiced than English people do. So they do silent, right? Like for us, it's like as much as you can, give it as much as you can. So it's t. Listen. So let's say these letters first. We get r, s, t. Okay, let's see the next letter. And let's write it down. So this is our U letter. Like, let's say U in good. U. Just make it longer, as long as you can. Let's say again, U. Alright. I feel like maybe the next letter is going to be the last one for today, but we'll continue next time. So the way she wrote it is a bit intense. Please look how she writes it, and then I'll write it my way. Okay, so it's a bit intense for me. If I had to write F, I would do just this. So I start with 1, 2, 3. That's how I would write it. So. And there is no right stroke order in Ukrainian, not like in Chinese, not like in Mandarin. And this letter is fu in fat, so let's say fu. And maybe for now, could you please record these letters since we're gonna finish soon. But you got to practice your R a bit as the O for, let's say R, S, T, U, F. Can you record that? And that's gonna be it for today. Okay, so please don't forget to check your Duolingo and do that for your extra 5 points. And it's good practice too. And we'll finish the rest next time. This is a bit long, but may I please just teach you how to say goodbye in Ukrainian? Oh, you know already, that's good. So you know all the letters now, so it's gonna be
Bye.
yeah, which is bye in Ukrainian. So let's say it again, it's gonna be bye. Bye.
这个好像就是练习，但是他那个上面说字文，就是前面那个字文就知道，就是刚才要的话就传进去了。可以慢慢练习啊，那个书写的。上次也这样。Teams 做高度的，Teams 说 Teams 的资源。
那这三个有什么不一样？这个，这都念。
对，是好像有这种，就像短的那个这个书念。可是我不知道这两个是差别，我知道，因为是很多话。这些东西交给下一个老师吗？现在有更重要的讲吗？不是你最后一个去问他那个，你知道今天我有更重要的事情吗？他会理解，他会理解。那就是在翻译，我等一下要回事。翻译点开放下来。我已经。